Welcome to Your Drum Your Way. It's Merritt, and I am here with Maya, who is representing GyrlTalk app. We have so much to talk about, so little time. I hope you brought your popcorn, because honey, you're in for a ride. Okay, so tell me about GyrlTalk app.
Okay, well, GyrlTalk is a mobile social network exclusively designed for women. It's like the an accessory for a media socialite, or for women in the digital age, and it allows you to keep in touch and nurture relationships with your girlfriends. And we also have emoticons that are feminine specific. So there are things like when you're talking to your girlfriends, you can, if you need to throw in a flips hair emoticon, or talk to the hand, or you know, feeling skinny emoticon. You can type that in when you're using the GyrlTalk app.
Nice. One of the things I remember about GyrlTalk app was that there were some emoticons that had some brown girls on there, which is fantastic because I have an iPhone, and let me be clear, there are no brown girls. So what motivated you guys to make things for women of color specifically?
Well, we looked at we were both iPhone users, and we looked at the keyboard and the emoticons that were offered, and we're like, oh, it's so many icons, little emoticons or whatever, but there are no black faces, and they're not just any black faces. There are no blondes, there are no redheads, there are no girls with freckles. So we were like, if we're gonna have an app that targets women specifically, let's target all women. So on our app, there's Hispanic girls, there's Asian girls, there's blondes, there's redheads, there's freckles, there's brown girls, there's afros, you know, all kinds of things. So everybody feels like there's a face for you within this app, no matter what you look like.
Awesome. Okay, so one of the things, and I was telling you this before, my concept of my show is really about talking to people who decide in their lives where there's plan A, where you're supposed to do, and you're supposed to get your degree, and you're supposed to live in your rigid life and just be happy and be in the suburbs, or there's plan B, where there are your passions and things that you really want to do. And it seems like you and your co-founder decided, you know what, I am going to live life to the beat of my own drum and do something completely different. So what led you to that decision?
Well, for me, I've always been a corporate rebel, and I've always had entrepreneurial like that spirit, that entrepreneur spirit in me. So I was actually in New York City working with the New York Knicks. I had an amazing job. I absolutely loved it. The hours were extremely long, but I did enjoy what I was doing. And I just came across this idea, still having the desire to be an entrepreneur in the back of my mind, just because I like to control everything that I'm in my own space, and you know how much money I make and everything like that. So my roommate and I, she was my roommate at the time, we came up with this idea, and we're like, let's take it to the next level. And in that process, I was so consumed with my career in sports that I didn't imagine that I would actually leave for GyrlTalk at that time. But things began to progress, and they start picking up, and then it was like, okay, this isn't just an idea. This is, you know, we're going to put this thing in the App Store. So I'm going to be able to tell people I have an app in the App Store, and they're going to look at me like, what?
Right.
People like, you don't have apps in App Store.
Right.
So when it got in there, it was just like, okay, it got some traction, and from there, it was balancing both of them. So GyrlTalk was a full-time job, and the New York Knicks were a full-time job. So, and it was like, okay, I'm going to be in my corporate job for, you know, 8, 9, 10 hours, and then I'm going to go home and then work on GyrlTalk for another 5 hours.
Right.
And it became overwhelming. And then I'm a sports fanatic. I love the fact that I worked in the sports industry as a former athlete, but there's tension in like, okay, do I put my dreams, do I put my effort and all my work into, you know, my own thing, or do I continue to work for someone else and make them richer?
Right.
So I think because of, I mean, just like that battle every day, being completely exhausted every day. It was just like, you know, and even the confines of corporate America, like, oh, you need to be there at 9 a.m. every day. I'm like,
I don't want to
why?
be there.
As long as I get my work done, I should be able to get it done. And it's like asking for vacation. And I'm just like, we're in the summertime, we're in off season. What do I need to ask for, you know? And I know those are things that everyone deals with, but it was just kind of like, it didn't make sense to me. So I said, it's time for me to do this full time, you know, and I decided to leave New York City and leave the Knicks, which I think is an amazing organization, and pursue GyrlTalk full time. And it hasn't been quite a year yet, but it's been an amazing experience. I've learned so much. I've gained so much more confidence in myself and my business savvy, and in faith, because being an entrepreneur, the biggest thing is it's a faith experience. Like when you take that leap, you really have to say, like, you really have to hold on to God,
right? Yeah,
because you have so many dark days. Like you know, they say the 3 most addictive things are carbohydrates, heroin, and a monthly paycheck. So
I like that.
Yeah, when you don't have that monthly paycheck and you actually have to work for it, versus like when I was in corporate America, I can play on Facebook for 2 weeks and still get that paycheck, you know. But this is like, no, if you don't execute every single day, if you aren't disciplined, if you aren't praying, if you aren't watering your seeds, then it's not going to happen for you. You're not going to eat. So it's been an amazing experience. I wouldn't change anything, and I'm just like really grateful for where we are today, and we're just excited about the future of GyrlTalk and our next steps.
Yeah, well, I'm excited. I know that you all right now are going through like a reloading phase. That's how you guys kind of have coined it. So have you guys already talked about when the new launch is going to be for the new app?
Yeah, what we've decided to do is align the launch with schools a reopening. So we'll do that in September. So we'll have like a grand launch. We'll have softer launches where we'll introduce it on the iOS platform first this summer, and we'll let people test it out and do events and demo events and things like that, so we can kind of do like a softer launch and a little PR marketing around it, and then have like a hard launch with the Android and on the Android and the iOS platform.
Oh, Android and iOS. Well, congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you mentioned that you like sports and that you're a former athlete. So who's your favorite team? Choose wisely.
Well,
choose wisely.
No. I mean, I can't lie. I am an Atlanta Hawks fan.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, sometimes it gets tough. But I guess as a native
you have
of
to
the
be.
city, I just can't give my heart to anyone else.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys will get a championship one day.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
The last one was in 1958, so
wow, go Lakers. Wow. Okay, so what's the first thing that you think of when you wake up?
I pray. As soon as I get up, I just I thank God for waking me up, and I thank him for all the awesome things that are going to happen in my day.
Yeah.
And then
I gotta add that to my list. All of the awesome things that are going to happen.
And then I read my Bible, and then I get out of my bed.
Nice. Yes, that's the perfect thing. Okay. My last question for you, and this is like the most important question of them all. Okay. What is your comfort food? What is the food where you feel like, oh my goodness, if I don't have this, then I just don't know what I'm gonna do? Or what's the food where it's like, once I have this, everything is correct?
French fries.
French fries.
It's a comfort food.
Yeah.
It's a weakness. It's probably why I don't have a six-pack.
Not yet. We're gonna work on it.
But I love French fries.
With ketchup, without ketchup.
Barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce. Yeah. Waffle fries or like real, like just
I like the
simple
hand-cut fries. Though that's my thing. I do like waffle fries, but hand-cut, natural fries.
Yeah. Can't go wrong, huh?
Yes.
Okay, can't go wrong. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for stopping by. And always remember to ask yourself, are you living life to the beat of your own drum? Thank you guys. Bye.